We're aiming to paint on our square canvas an example of using our blending and our acrylics paint, looking at kind of abstract colours and looking at images from cells and cross sections from rocks. And we're going to use paintbrushes, sticks, sponges to add detail, whatever we think is sort of appropriate. On this particular one, it's quite interesting because it's just used some metallic paint as mixed in with some of our acrylic to give sort of an iridescent shimmery effect. Now I'm just going to go over back to the little painting area. Now acrylics are quite expensive, so remember just to squeeze out tiny little pea-sized blobs, and remember to shake up your acrylics before you use them, otherwise it comes out with a little bit of oil like the one that's happened here. And just sort of put out on the scrap paper as your mixing palette just the colours that you're going to need for the particular area that you're working on. So I'm going to look at that little blue section here on my canvas. So all I've squidged out is a little tiny bit of blue, a little bit of black, a little bit of purple, because those are the ranges of colours that I can see within that little section that I'm going to work on. And of course we've got our white acrylic paint there ready for our blending. So we're going to have a little look at what we're going to use. I've got a couple of paint brushes there that I might use, and I might also look at a sponge, using some sponging techniques later on. And we could always use, where there's tiny little dots happening there, we could use sort of our sticks to add that detail once our paint has dried. But we're just going to have a look today at the little tiny section here. So remembering, when you are mixing your colours, you don't just mix them all together once you've got your blobs out. You get a little tiny bit here, put it over here, put a little bit there, and mix it so that it's in another little area on your paper. And then you can then start to put that onto your canvas. Okay, and start sort of blending as you kind of go in within the piece of work that you're working on there. Now with acrylic paints, it's quite nice that you don't actually need a lot of water, because they kind of have their own liquid, if you will, to sort of blend your colours or work with that kind of material that you've got there. Now looking back at that there, it's a little bit darker on the edge, but I don't want to just use black. I might put black and use a little bit of purple in with that black colour as well, just to give that a little bit of depth rather than getting it too harsh with going straight in with my black there. to work on the pink areas and continue with all the other colours that I can see, making sure that I'm coming onto the edges.